Yeah, this is Carl at National RV Detroit, and I'm going to walk you through this Autumn Ridge model 23 RLS. Okay, I'm on the door side of the trailer, walking towards the rear, and we have some storage here. Okay, you have scissor type stabilizer jacks that operate with a crank or a 3/4 inch socket attachment on a drill, which is very common to use these days. You have a large awning with the LED light strip. It's a power awning. Power out here. This is the fill for your fresh water tank. Now if you go to a campsite that doesn't have plumbing on the campsite, you'll want to use this feature. You fill your tank up ahead of time, then you use the electric pump inside to pump your water, and it does everything that a normal city water hookup would do. Now it does have a city water hookup on the other side of the trailer. I'll show you when we get over there. That's what you use most of the time, but for those times where you don't have plumbing on a campsite, this is what you would use. Alright, this is your service panel for your refrigerator. Keep in mind that this hose should always be hanging out. This is to drain condensation generated by the refrigerator, so you always want that hanging out. This water heater works on both gas and electric. Alright, the switches are inside to operate it, but I just want to show you this is where you drain the water from right here. Now before you operate this water heater, you always want to make sure there's water in the tank. You do that by turning on the hot water, of course, and when you're hooked up to city water, you turn on the hot water, and if it's empty, air will come out of the faucet, but eventually as it fills, it'll be a combination of air and water, then eventually solid water. When you get solid water coming out, obviously it's full. So you always want to make sure it's full before you turn on the gas or electric. Alrighty. This here is a hookup for a solar panel to charge the battery. So if you ever purchased one, it's just a battery charger. It does not run your whole trailer, obviously. So if you got one, it would plug in right there. Okay, this is your pass-through compartment. Now you have your crank right here. It's the one in the back with the plastic still on it. That's for the stabilizers. And this smaller one that you see here, that one is for the power tongue jack. If this power tongue jack was ever to fail, you can pull this plug out of the top and stick that crank in there and crank it manually. So you can always get yourself out of trouble using that crank. Alright, so you have a deep cycle marine battery, 2 LP tanks, full, and on this side that we have your hitch. We'll show you how the hitch operates when you come to pick up your trailer. Keep in mind it's a Husky centerline weight distribution hitch with built-in sway control. You can always refer to their website and use their link to their hookup video to refresh your memory if you need to do that the first few times you use it. So you can always refer back to their website. Alright, this is your water hookup here. Alright, we're still cleaning your trailer and they're still working inside, so there'll be some other people working in the video inside, but we'll work around them. Alright, so you can see obviously you hook up right here. Now if you look at this drawing here, the position it's in right now is the fill position. So if you turn on the water right now with this lever in this position, right, it's going to fill the tank. If you were to turn it down like that, it's regular city water. Okay, so if you've got city water hookup, you're going to keep it like this. If you're just filling your tank, you'll put it in that position. This is a sprayer port. There is a sprayer that comes with it to hose things down. Alright, this is your black tank flush here. I'll show you how to use that. Okay, so let me see how many valves we got here before we go any further, so I give you the accurate information here as best I can. Let's look down here. Alright, so let me just look under here one more time. Alright, so basically this is your black tank here, your black tank flush. Black tank is toilet water and waste. The gray tank is sink and shower water. So you pull whoops, I'm sorry, you pull these gate valves out to dump them. So you would put your hose on here, put the other end in your dump station, then you would dump the black first by pulling it out. After you've dumped that, you dump the gray second. The reason you do that, obviously, because the gray water is cleaner than the black water, because the black water is toilet water and waste, and the gray water is sink and shower water, so it's cleaner, dirty water than the black water. So you dump it in that order. Then if you can leave the black valve open, and you would come up here, and you would take your hose, and you would put it right on here. This is the black tank flush. As it says on this sticker here, always have the black dump valve open before you turn on the water to the black tank flush, just so you don't get too much pressure buildup in there. So you would put the hose on there, turn it on, and it'll actually clean out the black tank even better. It'll spray the sensors so you get a good reading and they don't get clogged up by gunk. And so you always get a good reading on your monitor panel. Okay? This is just a light. So hook up, it just lights up, that's all. And that is to operate your pump. You can operate the pump inside or outside. All right. Now, let me go back towards the back here. Let me walk around for 1 second so I mentioned that you can fill the tank this way, the fresh water tank. So there are 2 ways to fill it. You can fill it through here. If you just have, if you have to dump water in it, if you don't have pressurized water, you have to hand pump it or something, you can always use this. But if you've got a city water hookup and you are filling up with city water, but you're going to go to a place that doesn't have city water, if that makes any sense, you would do it on the other side just by changing the position of that blue valve I showed you, okay? So there's 2 ways to get water into the fresh water tank. All right, you have a 30 amp cord, 25 feet long, although this one might be 30. They're sending a lot of 30 footers. I can't tell you for sure which it is, but it's a 30 amp cord. This housing up here tells us it's pre-wired for a backup camera. So if you get one, it's got to be a Furion camera that fits into that housing. It's pre-wired for the backup camera, so you just got to hook it up. And basically when you turn your running lights on, it'll activate your monitor that is in your cab. And you'll be able to see behind you when you're backing up or driving down the road, whichever you want. Like I said, you turn the running lights on in order to activate it. While we're looking up, you have to go up on your roof at least 3 times a season and inspect your sealant on the roof. So you're going to go up there in the spring, you're going to go up there in the fall, and then once in the middle of the summer, you go up there or have somebody else go up and you walk around. You can walk no problem up there. Check all the sealant. Make sure it's good and tight, no separation. Some years, sometime you're going to see separation starting somewhere on the roof, and you have that taken care of immediately. It's very, very important. It's not just for this trailer, it's every trailer ever made. You have to inspect the sealant on the roof and any sealant you see that the factory put on the sides. But the roof is the most important. Okay? All right, so let's go inside. So here we go. Okay, here's all my co-stars.
Here we are.
Okay, so Jeff's just installing your TV set right now, so he'll be working on that while we go through this. So let me see what we've got here. Somewhere there's a monitor panel in here. Let's start here. No. All right, let me keep looking. I don't want to give up yet. I know it's in here somewhere.
The monitor?
Yeah.
It's over there.
How did I walk right by it? Oh, wow. I didn't expect it to be that narrow. Here, come on in, Amanda. Okay, so I did walk right past it. To extend and retract your awning, you do that right here. You can see it's extended all the way. Basically, you unroll it till you see the awning tube. You won't see the fabric anymore. It'll totally unfurl and you'll see the awning tube. That's how you know when to stop. Never leave the awning out unattended. So if you're going to leave the campsite, roll it in, because the wind can come up quickly and damage it in an instant, and you'll have a headache. So you just want to, and if you're not going to be there, just roll it in. It's very simple. Top of your slide out, it's right here. I'm not going to bring it in and out because it's already out right now and he's working over there, but it's very simple. You just push in or out, basically, and hold your finger on the button until it gets all the way in or all the way out. your monitor panel here. Right now the water heater is on. I'm going to shut it off. Okay, shut it off that, Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll shut that off now, and your water pump is on. Remember I told you could pump your own water? That's done there. You also use the water pump to winterize, so keep that in mind. When you winterize, you have to bypass your water heater. There are valves on the back because you can't get antifreeze into the water heater tank or leave a really foul taste and a foul smell. So if you don't know this already and you're going to winterize yourself, you have to educate yourself on it so you don't get any water into the water heater tank, or any antifreeze into the water heater tank. All right. So battery's totally charged. Fresh water is 2/3 full. We're still testing it. Black is empty. Gray is empty. So we'll be emptying your fresh water too in a minute or so. It graduates up in 1/3 increments, as you can see. So like the black tank right here is empty. As it fills, it'll graduate 1/3 and 1/3, and then 2/3, and then full. The lights will light up as it goes. Once you get past 2/3, you got to start thinking about dumping the tank. So keep that in mind. All right. So just turning around here. This is your thermostat. So you just touch it once to light it up. Right now we're on cool, which is the air conditioner, obviously. You always want to. That's the furnace. That's off. That's the fan, which is the air conditioner running without the compressor. Cool, off. I'm going around again, but I want to keep it on, so we'll stop right there. There's a lag time every time you do this, so if you were going to shut it off, there's going to be like a 5-second delay, or turning it on, there's about a 5-second delay. It's like that with the furnace also, so keep that in mind. You have to be a little bit patient, and it will turn on, or off for that matter. All right, your refrigerator is a gas absorption Dometic refrigerator, so it'll run on 110 AC, or it'll run on LP gas. So really all you do is you turn it on here, and then you select auto. Auto means electric. The reason they call it auto is because it always searches out electricity, and if it can't find the electricity, it'll switch over to gas. Or if you're camping and you're using the electricity and you have a power outage, then it'll automatically switch over to gas so you don't spoil the food. So auto basically means electricity. Now you can dedicate it to gas just by pushing that button, right? If it was to fault, meaning it didn't light, it makes 3 attempts to light each cycle. So if it didn't light, that check light will come on. If that ever happens, you just shut it off and turn it back on again, and it'll run through the cycle again and light the next time for sure. But like I said, auto is where you're normally going to go with it. The only other thing to know about this is this device here is called a thermistor. Now what you're looking at, this part here, is just a clip that holds the thermistor. The thermistor is the cylinder that's on the end of the wire. Basically, if you can see that decal there, the higher you go with it, the cooler the refrigerator is. So generally speaking, you're going to have it up all the way, except when it gets cool outside, then you might want to back it down if it starts to frost up. But just generally speaking, you're going to have it pushed up as high as it goes. Now it'll fall right out of that clip. But if it does, you just pull the clip off, push the thermistor back into its spot, and then clip it back on the fin. Okay? All right. Microwave works like any other microwave. Also, you have a range hood fan with a light. Okay? Your range, I don't know if we have any gas on right now, but we'll see. Yes. So you're just going to turn it to light, and then you're going to turn the sparker clockwise. You do that for each burner. Now the oven is a little bit different. Let me look down here to determine what kind we have. Okay, so you need a grill lighter with this one. So get a lighter with a long neck. And back here, I'm trying to get it so you can see it. Way back there is a pilot light at the back, at the bottom section here. So what you do is you go to the oven knob here and you go to pilot. And then you depress it and you hold it in. Then you would take, with the other hand, you would take your lighter and stick it back there and light the pilot light. Still holding this in. Once the pilot light lights, you're still holding it in, you hold it for another 10 or 15 seconds to heat it up, and then you go to whatever operating temperature you want. So it'll cycle on and off like an oven does, but when you go to off, it'll shut the flame off, of course, but also the pilot light goes out, so you have to relight the pilot light each time you use the oven. Okay? This device here is the power converter. It converts 110 AC to 12 volt DC. So on this side you see you got regular household type circuit breakers, and they're labeled. Then the power is converted over to 12 volt DC on this side. You see you got 12 volt fuses. and they're labeled. So if one of these were to blow, they'll actually light up, and you can see it through this perforated plastic here. So you'd actually see it glowing, and you'd know that you blew a fuse. Also keep in mind that this is a battery tender, so as long as you're plugged into shore power, it's going to sense how much energy your battery up front needs or has, and it'll always keep it charged. This device over here is the carbon monoxide and LP gas detector. It should always be green like it is. I'll set it off here so you can hear it. It'll go through 2 self-tests, another one coming up, one for carbon monoxide, one for LP. Alright, and then it'll go back to green right there. So it should always be green. If it's not, you get it serviced. Also, this one is a low battery alarm, so if it beeps very, very slowly, it's telling you that your battery's low. Alright. Okay. So there's nothing special about this sink. It works like any other sink. This jackknife's flat, so you'll basically pull it out from the bottom here, and it'll lay flat and turn into a bed. You can take the poles out of the table and set the tabletop onto these cleats here. There's 4 of them. And fill in the space with the cushions, and you have another bed. Alright. The shower works like any other shower. The sink works like any other sink in the bathroom. Keep in mind all the plugs are wired through a GFCI. So if you're using a coffee pot outside and it pops, you're going to reset it here, because they're all wired through it. Even if it doesn't look like a GFCI like this one does, they're still wired through one. Okay, the thing about the toilet that's the most important is you can't use it dry or without chemical. So you get to the campground, you hook up the power and the water, you come in here, you take your chemical, you toss it right in there, and then you step on it, water will come swirling out. Okay. The thing is, you want to put about a gallon or 2 of water in there. There's no way to tell how much a gallon is by the monitor panel, so you're just going to have to use common sense. I put about a gallon in there. The thing is, it can't be dry, and it has to have chemical when you start off. If you were going to stay at the same campsite and you had to dump your black tank, you're still going to stay another week, let's say. After you dump the black tank, you come back in here, put the chemical in there, another gallon or 2 of water, and you're all set till it's dumped again. Every time you start camping after you've dumped the black tank or the black tank's empty, you put chemical and a little bit of water to get it going. One more thing, there's a fan up here. You always want to use it when you use the shower to pull the humidity out, because these trailers are built really tight, and you can't. You want to pull the humidity out so you don't get mold and that sort of thing. This is the escape window. For an emergency, you would push this all the way through, okay, and then you would grab a hold of this tab and pull the screen out, and then out you go. So it's an escape window. You can use it for ventilation just by leaving it there, obviously, but the other function is to escape in an emergency. One thing you have to know about these blinds is that they tend to loosen up over time. The rule of thumb is this: if it starts to fall down just while you're traveling, you'll find that this is too loose here. This line is too loose. So they give you a way to pull this through, and you could tie another knot on it, like say a 1/2 inch up, to tighten this up a little bit. The tighter this is, the tighter this is here, right? So you just want to, if you're out west somewhere, you don't have to go to a dealer. You can just tighten that up a little bit. Don't go overboard with it. Just a little bit, and it'll stiffen the blind up, so it'll stay in place like it's supposed to. Okay, you have a backing plate for a television in here, plus you got antenna and power. All right. Boy, the air conditioning feels good, I'll tell you. You got a foot locker underneath here. You can access it, storage. All right, and back over here to the entertainment area. Your TV works like any other TV. Right here you can see that the red light is on. This is the signal booster for the digital antenna. Now you could shut it off if you wanted to, but you'll get a lousy picture. It'll lock up, or you'll have all kinds of digital noise, so you always want it on. Also, you can basically you can use Bluetooth with this. You can open this up and you can stream off this USB here. So you have a lot of options with it to play music and video. So you can stream off this USB. You can hook up wirelessly with Bluetooth. So, okay. think that just about covers it. Let me look around here, see if I missed anything. Of course, that's your smoke alarm. You always want to make sure that the battery is good in that. Okay, I think that does it. So, if you have other questions, obviously you can call us and we can talk you through it. You have a packet in here that has basically a manual for every appliance in here. You can always refer to those. You can go to online videos, especially the manufacturer's videos. For the Dometic, you would, like for example right here, there's all the information. You just put in the model number and you'll be able to find information that way. So there's plenty of information out there. So if you have any issues, you give us a call and we'll work with you. And I want to thank you for purchasing your trailer at National RV Detroit. And remember, you have to inspect the roof 3 times a year at least, and always bypass your water heater before you pump antifreeze in. Thank you.